Hello,
Hi,
how are you?
fine. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine as well. Uh, can you hear me well? Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great. So, welcome to Studio183 Online Hangouts event.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for having me.
you're welcome. And yeah, we can start with a briefly description of your brand, maybe. Tell us something about your brand Ludos and how everything started.
Um, well, briefly, Ludity is a sustainable agender label. We work exclusively with natural fabrics since 5 years ago. And we've started 5 years ago to work with genderless clothes. But we started working actually in 2010. We celebrated our 10th year anniversary um, in 2019.
Uh-huh.
But the business model as a genderless line that works with natural fabrics came 5 years ago. So we've been really developing that. We've been developing Ludus as a sustainable label, and it all goes gradually from step to the next step and so on.
So the brand actually started as a sustainable brand, right?
No, at the beginning, in 2010, it
Mm-hmm.
started as a label for the concept store that I co-owned with my sister. So it was women's wear basically, but it was mostly inspired by menswear. It was on the line of genderless clothes, let's say, something more like an androgynous fashion. But sustainability was introduced in 2014 and mainly in 2015.
Uh-huh, okay. So
Yeah.
genderless clothing actually is the main point of the brand since the very beginning, right?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, great. And you also have a special meaning of the name Ludos, right?
Yeah, it means in Latin, it means play, a joke, but it also refers to those Roman gladiator schools, which I really liked. It had this double meaning, and since it was the name of the concept store that I used to have, and we had design wear and products that were kind of like playful and had this really interesting lines and appearances. So
Mm-hmm.
the name was perfect for that. And then it sort of transferred to the fashion label. And I found it very descriptive, like an exact definition of what I do in my profession. I really like to experiment and really like to play, and I don't take anything too seriously. So I hope you can see that in the collections and in the
Yeah,
photos.
totally. And I
Yeah.
also read about that you in the first lockdown you started to natural dyeing fabrics at home.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was very, very interesting and very
Tell us
exciting.
something
Yeah,
about it.
that's my that's my kitchen actually. So my studio is at my home, and I had a lot of time. And in the beginning, I had a lot of panic about what's going to happen generally. And then I said, well, since I'm staying at home, now is the perfect time to start experimenting with this natural dyeing, because to me, personally, I really like the idea that you don't have anything toxic in your fiber, or actually, you don't have anything toxic on your skin. That's really, really amazing. And I had a lot of white fabric on stock.
Mm-hmm.
And I started discovering and researching how I can get a dark color, a black color, because we're really known for the black colors actually, and they're kind of, yeah, not kind of, but they're easier to sell. And I learned that natural dyeing, the pomegranate and iron sulfate give
Mm-hmm.
sort of the most black color you can achieve through natural dyeing. So I did not achieve it in the first collection, but I was really satisfied with the results. You can see them here. These
Uh-huh.
are the first two are, and Basically, what you get with natural dyeing is this color, which is very fluid. It changes with different lighting and over time. It doesn't mean that it fades and then it's not consistent. It's very consistent. It's not fugitive at all, but it sort of gives the garment this velvety feeling and velvety structure, which you cannot
Yeah,
get with chemical dyeing, and that to me is very cool. And you get this all of these mistakes and little dots and even stains, which I find really cool and really on brand with us,
yeah,
with
it looks
Ludus.
really natural actually, what it is.
Excuse me, I didn't hear that.
It looks really natural, what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
yeah. It looks
actually.
like you dug it out of the dirt, which is really cool for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is your creative process of creating a new collection, for instance? Do you work
Uh,
seasons now?
Excuse me?
Do you do seasons in your collections or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do seasons. We do two collections per year. Now we're launching in end of March or April. We're launching the Autumn Winter 22, and it basically I would be lying if I say that I'm waiting for. I'm working from inspirations, and there is a lot of creative process when you're a label like Ludos, you actually have to meet demands, and that is that you have to have finished collection and presented collection twice a year. And I also like to procrastinate, and I work at home, so it's also very, very last minute. I work with deadlines. I work a lot before the collection is finished and photo shoot. I work mostly like an independent designer, I guess. So it comes from I try to introduce a new category, a new product with each collection because it's very difficult once you get known for the, I don't know, let's say the shirts are really known for our label. It's very difficult to introduce trousers or even shoes, and I really like designing shoes. And I don't know, so we're trying to develop something new each time, but it goes really slowly and steadily, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, you're very known for your shirts, which are quite oversized, right?
Yeah, they are now the patterns are completely zero waste. I wish I
Mhm.
could have a photo here to show you of the. I draw by hand a little pattern cutting the manual, sort of like a scheme, and they're really let's say for one shirt we use from 3 to 6, maybe sometimes even 8 meters of fabric, and all of it is used in the shirt. So if we cut precisely 3 meters, it's all cut into front, back, and all the details. So they are zero waste, which I'm really proud of.
So they're completely zero waste.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's great. They look
yeah.
amazing, by the way. And you started with shirts with your initial brand for the concept store, or?
Oh no, it was we started with this tailoring, which was really boxy and not fitted, but it was women's wear. Because in the concept store we had the usual 40 plus female client, which really wanted something chic and creative and but also on the safe side. So we tried to introduce this menswear lines and menswear tailoring and really sharp shoulders and this small minimalistic lapels to that line. And the shirts actually came very, very late into the work. They're mostly bestsellers in Ljubljana at Pentlja Concept Store, and Slovenians really like them. Yeah.
How did that connection come? You started with Slovenian Fashion Week, probably.
Yeah, that was in 2017. I was invited to the Ljubljana Fashion Week by Nina and through Matjaž from Pentlja.
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have time to go and participate in the spring summer edition, but I went at I think it was autumn winter 2017.
Yeah, I think I was at that show because I
Yeah,
remember.
I think we met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the toilet. Yeah, I think. Yep. And it was a very brief meeting, just like you said, something like "Congratulations, great collection." I was like, "Yeah, I'll remember you. I'll remember you what you said to me." And yeah, that was the beginning with the Ljubljana Fashion Week, which really helped and really also from the business and financial part, because having a concept store which sells your products is really cool, and I really, really like that. And also what Studio 183 does in Berlin is really important because we as independent designers don't have much stores, physical stores where people can actually see your product and then maybe after a year or two shop it online. That's really important for the independent designers, I think.
Yeah, it's still important to actually touch and see the clothing in real
Yeah,
life, right? Because
yeah.
especially with your brand, I think where everything is natural, and I believe the feeling of the fabric is pretty amazing if you touch it. You cannot really see everything in the photo.
No, no, not at all. That's why we shoot videos always, because you can kind of get a sense of the movements and the back of which is always different from the front, especially in the shirt. And yeah, I think that the fabric is I think you can get a feeling of the fabric from the photos, I hope. But the main thing is that a store like yours can really offer the clients the really exactly feeling of the fabric.
The experience, yeah.
Yeah.
And who is creative director of the photo shoots of the lookbooks and so on? Because they also look really amazing.
Me. I'm in charge of everything.
Uh-huh.
Uh, with some exceptions, when I worked with Zhupanov, he always had an idea, let's do this and let's do that, but he always runs it by me if I'm okay with the model and the location. But usually I have the idea of where and how to shoot it, which models are going to be included, and then I sketch the collection, which is really the opposite of what's normally
Uh-huh.
done.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. Wow, pretty amazing.
I always go. I don't have any fashion school at all. I studied painting and contemporary art.
Mhm.
So to me, the process is completely different from what you get in a fashion house or even a small designer. So I don't know. So I usually start with the fabrics. Sometimes I have it on stock and it waits for years. And usually I have an idea of what the campaign is going to look like
Mhm.
and where I'm shooting it and what's the background and what's the whole vibe. And then I start creating the pieces, which is now it's really easy because you have to actually repeat your products all the time and just develop them and enhance them and really make it better. I don't want to say perfect.
Do you have any interesting story about, I don't know, creating a collection or a photo shoot or even a specific piece of the collection?
Uh, yeah, every photo shoot is really different, and it's really difficult, especially when you work if you work in Macedonia, because we don't have uh, a lot of modeling agencies. We don't have a lot of professional photographers, video makers. That is very, very limited. So you have to really find the perfect team and the perfect professionals and be very demanding with them. So it's always very stressful when I personally don't get the product that I intended in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's interesting if you ask my collaborators when we argue and have fights about it. But That's usually the procedure when I work, unfortunately. But it all goes well in the end, I think.
Yeah, I think the results are amazing, so that's the main
Yeah,
thing.
but it's a lot of hard work. I think that if you have a professional modeling agency and a photographer, it comes very easy. You can like just check everything maybe every 5 minutes. But in these cases, I do everything myself, plus the assistant works all the time and checks everything. And it's a lot of work where professionality doesn't exist. So I
Yeah,
hope if you say that you don't see that in the photo shoots, I'm really happy.
yeah.
Job well done then.
Okay, let's ask our followers if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, we just updated Ludos collection on Studio183.com. And you have also different sizes of the clothing, right?
Yes, we usually do sizes S and M.
Mm-hmm.
Rarely we do L, and usually the S sizes is for the girls and the sizes are for the boys, but it doesn't really matter because everything is kind of really oversized.
Yeah,
So basically, the way I construct the garments is that I need some kind of structure around the neckline, and everything else is oversized and really covering the body and draping around it. So it doesn't really matter if you, I mean, I've seen bigger people buying a smaller size and vice versa. So it's
yeah.
really convenient in that way.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the lovely chat
Thank you.
and have a good evening.
Same. Same to you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.